President Trump celebrates the first 100 days of his second administration not in Washington, D.C., but at a rally in Michigan. The United States makes major progress in energy reform and expansion, and another House Democrat introduces articles of impeachment against the president. I'm Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal's Tony Kinnett Cast, syndicated nationally at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Wednesday, April 30th, 2025. This is the Daily Signal's top news in 10. President Trump began the celebration of his first 100 days in this administration by hopping on Air Force One and flying out to Michigan. The president gave a series of remarks at a kind of classic Trump campaign rally style at Macomb Community College in Warren, Michigan, which is about 20 miles north of Detroit. Macomb County, of course, was critical in the president's election in November.
This is the best, they say, 100-day start of any president in history, and everyone is saying it. We've just gotten started. You haven't even seen anything yet. It's all just kicking in. And week by week, we're ending illegal immigration. We're taking back our jobs and protecting our great American auto workers and all of our workers, frankly, we're protecting.
Trump also gave a small address to the Michigan National Guard.
And I'm honored to be here at Selfridge Air National Guard Base with the men and women of the 127th Wing of the Michigan Air National Guard. Thank you very much for being here. This is great. It's a great honor, and a great honor for me. We've had such success in Michigan.
After a very strange day of trading on the stock market, both with Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent talking about a series of upcoming trade deals that he expects, a bit of a tussle back and forth between the Trump administration and Amazon after Amazon began listing particular tariff price increases under items on the site. Trump administration responded that that was political, suggesting that they had never listed anything about the information regarding the policies of any prior administration. Amazon did back down. The Trump administration kind of made nice in a quick statement from the president. And then you had Howard Lutnick and Peter Navarro talking about additional tariff policies and perhaps tariffing foreign auto manufacturers who are making their vehicles in the United States, which would certainly be a very brutal policy towards many of the organizations which have suggested they would build new factories in the United States, like Hyundai, Toyota, and Honda. A lot of that is still in flux, and the stock market is playing that like a roller coaster. But that's not the biggest policy change in the administration over the last couple of days. Believe it or not, it's not illegal immigration either. It appears that the first 100 days of the Trump administration was primarily focused on illegal immigration and then, of course, reframing the American trade system on the global stage. The second 100 days of the administration, at least so far, appears to be about reforming the American energy production, distribution, and then how that entire series of industries is regulated and then built up infrastructure-wise. Earlier in April, President Trump listed a series of efforts that his administration was beginning to expand the energy sector.
We will develop the liquid gold that is right under our feet, including American oil and natural gas, and we will also embrace nuclear, clean coal, hydropower, which is fantastic, and every other form of affordable energy to get it done. We will not only match China, we will be cheaper than China by a lot, and more energy will mean lower inflation, and it'll mean more jobs. I will cancel Biden's ruinous power plant rule, terminate his electric vehicle mandate. If you want to buy an electric car, that's fine, but you're going to be able to buy every other form of car also. And unleash domestic energy production like never before.
And then last night in Macomb County, Michigan, Trump reiterated the halt on an attack on traditional and fossil fuels and uttered that classic drill baby drill. Check it out.
We've ended the radical left war on American energy. We've stopped their crusade on coal. Did you see what I did the other day? Clean, beautiful coal. I said, you're not allowed to use the word coal unless you say clean, beautiful coal. So you have guys getting up, Department of Energy. We have great people at Department of Energy. They talk about clean, beautiful coal. You know, China uses coal. They're opening up a coal plant every week. A massive coal plant, but we're not allowed to use it. But now we are, because last week I gave it absolute, total approval And you know what I don't give approval to? Those stupid windmills that go round and round and round. And we've ended the Green New Scam. We've reopened ANWR, the greatest drilling site anywhere in the world, in Alaska, and implemented the new energy policy of the United States. You know what it is? We have a policy. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill. That's our policy.
We're not done with energy just yet, though, because we have the response. First of all, Mark Carney, the far-left Prime Minister of Canada, elected in perhaps not a massive wave of victory, but a sizable victory nonetheless, made an immediate statement that was a little bit less moderate than some of the statements he made during his campaign, suggesting that climate change was going to be a major driver for all business and policy decisions in the Canadian government. Senator Chris Van Hollen, the Democrat senator from Maryland, whom you may know as the sightseer to visit Kilmar Abrego Garcia down in El Salvador, has previously made a series of statements leading the Democrat charge against the Trump administration's push to expand energy production in the United States. He has made the claim that the Trump administration has essentially cut a blank check to big oil, and then he makes an interesting claim. Check it out.
He promised the American people he was going to lower prices on day one. President Trump is not delivering on that day one promise. He is delivering on his promise to the big oil executives. What President Trump is doing is not only giving a blank check to the big oil companies, he's also sabotaging clean energy in the United States of America. They, of course, provide competition to the big oil companies. You're actually giving the big oil companies a competitive advantage. That means prices go up, not down.
It should be noted that in the short term and in the long term, these clean energy options that Van Hollen is referencing do not lower costs for Americans, either in the private side or, of course, the taxation funding the government side. And finally, Representative Sri Thanedar from Michigan has introduced a series of articles of impeachment against President Trump for the president's immigration policies. Here is a statement recorded by Thanedar.
This is Congressman Sri Thanedar. Donald Trump has already done real damage to our democracy, but defying a unanimous 9-0 Supreme Court ruling, that has to be the final straw. It's time we impeach Donald J. Trump. The court said the wrongfully deported Kilmer Garcia must be allowed to return and receive due process. Trump ignored it. He ignored the Constitution. He ignored the very checks and balances that keep our democracy intact. This isn't an isolated incident. It's part of a dangerous, deliberate pattern. That's why today I introduced a resolution to impeach Donald J. Trump, outlining 7 articles of impeachment.
Thanedar's speech on the floor of the House was no less dramatic and included some rather interesting claims and prophecies. Check it out.
Just last week, federal agents attacked our principles of federalism by arresting Judge Hannah C. Duggan of Wisconsin inside a courthouse because Donald Trump and Kash Patel did not like how Judge Duggan administered her courtroom. A state courtroom, I remind you. Arresting state judges for exercising powers reserved to the states, powers that concern the lives, liberties, and property of the people of Wisconsin, should be a red line for all of us. First, they come for the immigrants. Then they come for the judges. Who will be next in this fascist frenzy? Will it be you or me, an immigrant in Congress?
President Trump did respond to these articles of impeachment last night in Michigan.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to start the impeachment of Donald Trump. What the hell did I do? Here we go again. They want to impeach me. This lunatic, he was up. Actually, I had the television way down, and I said to our great First Lady, listen, did I just hear I was being impeached again? We're getting good at this, though. No, they've gone totally crazy. These people, and you know what? They've totally lost their confidence, too. They can't even tell a lunatic like this dumb guy that said it. And then you have the other one that's always with the cane. He's always impeaching. He raises his cane.
It's very unlikely that these articles of impeachment will be brought forward before the House for anything other than perhaps a scornful laugh or two, given that the Democrats not only do not control the House or the Senate, but there are a lot of Democrats who are unlikely to choose this as the particular hill to fight on. Check the description to make sure you're subscribed to the Tony Kinnett Cast, and join us tonight at 7 p.m. for our last night of Washington, D.C. coverage live in this week of the Trump administration's first 100 days. I'm Tony Kinnett, and this has been the Daily Signal's Top News in 10. Take care.